Why, hello there. Evening Gamer Guy here, back with the continuation of the letter playthrough. Let's jump right into it. Ah yes, after we fell down the stairs. We are now here. No, I want to check. I think this is actually the place I should be. Yes. A buzz breaks the silence. I start to rouse, pulled into consciousness against my own will. I've never felt this tired before. Just want to sleep, but the insistent buzzing, poking and prodding isn't letting me. My old mattress may not be the comfiest of places, but that doesn't make me any more eager to wake up.
5 more minutes, Becca.
I swat away at what is nudging persistently at my side. Come on. Can't I just get a few extra minutes of sleep today? I promise I'll work hard once I'm out. A hand lightly taps my cheek, and something cold is suddenly being pressed at the back of my head. The icy sensation slowly spreads throughout the area, giving me an uncomfortable feeling.
Isabella? Isabella? Stop. Can you hear me? Isabella?
The fog immediately lifts from my mind the moment I recognize the voice, and my eyes snap open. There, looking down at me, is Rose. Another woman loiters beside her, but my attention is too focused on my co-agent to even ask why there's someone else with her. Rose's posture just screams worry, although she's keeping a straight face, and trying at least. I can't help but feel bad for making her fret. A wave of dizziness washes over me as soon as I try to get up, forcing me to lie back down again. Luckily, the feeling subsides after a few seconds, not sounds, until only a mild throbbing somewhere at the back of my head remains. With a little assistance from Rose, I push myself upright. She hands me an ice pack and gestures for me to press it where I suspect a small bump has already formed. If the light ache in the area indicates anything.
Alright, Isabella, where are we?
A house?
The Ermengarde mansion.
Ah,
Why?
yes. The Ermengarde mansion.
Ow, my head.
And the date today?
October 21st? Rose.
Last one. Can you count to 15 in reverse order?
15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I think I got them all.
15, 14, 13, 12 teen. No, that's wrong.
12 teen.
Why are we doing this?
I guess I missed 12 teen.
She's just checked if your injury is in any way serious.
This time, I curiously regard a woman standing beside Rose. Impossible to overlook her, what with the way she towers over us. And here I thought Rose is already tall. Who is she anyway? One of the remaining cleaning crews? With how primly dressed she is, I don't think anyone would want to clean in that suit. An expensive suit at that. Gloves alone must have already cost a fortune. I mean, the fact that she is wearing gloves like that already gives an indication of quite the prim and proper lady. Her eyes slowly shift between me and Rose, considering us with an almost unreadable expression before finally fixing a sharp gaze on me. I can't help but fold my arms protectively over myself as she does so. She may be far from a cleaning crew, but she certainly looks like our supervisor during evaluation.
Just do it, please.
I eye them both warily, but recite everything as she has asked. Rose releases a breath of relief once I'm done.
You scared me for a moment there. I was about to call for an ambulance. Are you alright?
Kind of. Exasperation soon replaces the dull ache. The memory's a little fuzzy, but the attic and...
There was someone, Rose. In the attic.
or something.
Someone? You mean a client? Oh, that's unlikely. It's probably just one of the cleaning crews.
Definitely didn't look like one.
The boss sent a few of them back this morning for some last minute...
No, not any of those. They're, I'm not actually sure. Wait, didn't I call you? You said you were in the attic when you answered. That's why I went there in the first place.
It wasn't Rose. Both Rose and the lady look at me like I've just grown another head. Did I say something weird? Rose quickly casts an apologetic smile at the woman before the awkward silence stretches on further. It's her saleswoman smile, the same one she taught me back when I was still her trainee. I should show this to troublesome clients, or just to avoid trouble in general, she advised. It's also the same one she gives me when I've done something particularly absurd that might cause us to lose a potential sale. Damn, she looks angry. Her eyes are serious when she turns back to me. She takes both of my shoulders, gently squeezes it, and with as much patience she can muster.
As much as I'd love to have gotten at least a heads up of your arrival, I didn't really get a call from you. You know, signal here is absolutely horrendous. I was in the garden earlier and couldn't even make a single call.
That is a horrendous signal.
Isabella, I'm going to ask again. Are you really alright? What happened?
I don't know. It's all a bit blurry.
Indeed it is.
I remember I was looking for you, but you weren't in the attic. And there's... whoever it is. Then I must have tripped on a rug or something on the way down. Oh no. Do you think someone came in while you were out? You left the main door open!
Or was it she? Or was it the ghost?
We are so going to get into big trouble if something gets stolen, Rose!
Perhaps it is a concussion.
Are you sure you feel fine? We could still call for an ambulance. I could cover for you.
No, I'm fine. I'm okay, Rose. I can work.
Probably. Wait. Hold your horses, Rose. I can't just miss an important sale because of a minor bump in the head. An extremely minor bump. I've had worse when I was a kid. This is nothing.
Besides, if I leave, you'll have to shoulder everything in the open house. Alone. And in a mansion this big?
No, it certainly does seem to be a big mansion. Well, there's also the part where I may lose that bonus BRC promised, but that's completely beside the point. Of course it is. Rose gives me a skeptical look when I return the cold compress to her and push myself off the floor. I have to use the staircase railings to steady myself, but otherwise I feel fine.
See? I'm A-okay.
The two of them exchange a worried glance, and Rose assumes contemplative look. I bite my lower lip in anticipation. If she says no...
Right, you in.
Yes. A smile threatens to slip out from me.
But if I see that you aren't feeling well, I'm taking you personally to the nearest clinic to have you checked. Clear?
Clear as day.
Clear as day, ma'am. Thanks, Rose.
Damn, guessed the line.
You insisted. But remember what I said. First sign of you looking not okay, and we're off. No questions asked.
Alright.
It's just a small bump. Don't worry.
You shouldn't downplay these kinds of things. It could be a serious injury for all we know.
I mean, to be fair, Rose has a point. Suddenly, a small cough sounds against the walls of the foyer, interrupting our banter. The woman is looking expectantly at the two of us, her stare making me shrink back a little on myself. She isn't really intimidating. ... Well, she is. But not in a scary, negative way. Far from it, actually. Her demeanor simply commands an air of sophistication and respect. In a different world, a younger me would have probably wished to be like her. At our lack of response, she coughs again, lifting a well-trimmed eyebrow at me in question. Words get caught in my throat at the sight of it, and Rose, as usual, is swift to catch my blunders.
My sincerest apologies, Mrs.
Miss McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch.
Marianne McCulloch. Ooh. That is a chic card. Business card. Interior designer. Trallet Rose Designs, I guess. She hands Rose her business card. The words interior designer catch my eye before my partner flips it over. Oh, probably someone interested in the mansion for its 17th century influences then. I won't hold it against her though. Despite the hearsays and remaining uninhabited, for years the mansion's original fittings and furniture have been kept completely intact and restored to pristine condition. I suppose some people find that trip to the past feeling appealing. After all, with what it offers, this place could also be a haven for people looking to live somewhere with a classic historical charm.
Miss McCullough, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough. In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting. If you could please...
Thanks. There's no need for it, though. I just dropped by for a quick survey of the place.
Sure thing.
I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
The what? Rose's confusion is impossible to miss when she glances at me, and I return it with an equally perplexed look. And, against my better judgment, I blurt out the first question that comes to mind.
I'm sorry. Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. Flash of irritation crosses her face, but it instantly disappears under a mask of professional detachment.
Yes. Hannah, right? She hired me to handle the interior design for their new home.
I guess another line that has suffered some rewriting.
This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
I think so. I'm not so sure. I mean, my head hurts a little bit still.
It is, but...
Oh, okay, it is. She pauses, possibly trying to find the right words to fix the awkward situation without offending someone. Suddenly, Rose nudges me with her elbow. Well... Well, just saying I don't know kind of implies that you're just being there, representing the company, but not really understanding why you're there. Kind of an incompetence. So, I guess we'll check with our supervisors. Those few moments have given me enough time to clear my head of any nervousness or confusion clouding it.
It is, ma'am, but we weren't aware the mansion has already been sold.
What happened with the relationships? Wow, that's a jump. What's new in the journal, actually? 21st... Ah, another page. While looking for her missing co-agent, Isabella Santos found a mysterious letter in Ermengarde Mansion's attic. Driven to fear by what she read inside, thinking it's the place's curse at work, she hurried to leave the place only to meet her doom. Or something like that.
What do you mean?
I almost flinch when she turns a gaze on me. I stand my ground. Besides, it isn't like I haven't dealt with awkward situations like this before. I may screw up at times, but that doesn't mean I haven't learned a thing or two in the 5 years I've worked in the business.
The mansion is indeed for sale, ma'am. Today's the open house, in fact. However, we haven't heard anything from the higher-ups that a deal has already been closed for this particular property. If you'd like, my co-agent and me can check with them right now.
She nods, seemingly in deep thought after I've finished. She appears to be a reasonable person, anyway, given the proper explanation, should surely understand.
I thought something looked odd. Excuse me, I need to call my secretary.
Thank you for your assistance, Miss Santos.
A slight wave of her hand, she leaves us. That seems to be the end of it. Both Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. Disaster averted. I also don't miss the thumbs up she gives me for doing a good job, and I can't help but smell with pride. Still, I have already prepared myself to dial the number to our Luxburn office and check, even if she didn't ask for it. I'll be very frustrated if for some reason something has already been decided without my or Rose's knowledge. That's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. I mean, seriously. Moments later, Miss McCulloch returns looking a little frustrated, with an apology clear in her face. I feel a little sorry for having to go through all of this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here.
Sure thing.
I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Certainly. You could stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And, Isabella? I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me a set of
And
keys.
hurry! We've still got a few minutes to double check those papers.
Alright,
Okay,
alright.
got it.
On my way. The two of them disappear behind the parlor's door. Their departure brings with it a stillness to keep me company, neither welcoming nor comforting. Alone, like this, it's impossible not to think of what really happened. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. Is it just paranoia, temporarily lapse after having heard all those tales about this place? Probably. I want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such, so I can work in peace. Except okay. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ. And if I'm going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. I don't know what's in this house and I don't want to know. The keys Rose have just handed me dig into my palm, its jagged edges creating a shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I'm clutching it. It's a reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer closer to my body, I exit the house to get what Rose has asked of me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. What? Wait, what? I guess that's just kind of a tease for us. Certainly didn't seem like Isabella noticed. Next page. Rose Cooper, along with the woman who introduced herself as Marianne McCulloch, found Isabella Santos lying unconscious in the mansion's foyer before the open houses start. Unable to recall what happened prior, Isabella insisted on working, despite her co-agent's worries about her well-being. A flock of people have already gathered the mansion's front yard by the time we officially opened the doors. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their heads. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day in this. They're murmuring amongst themselves, looking at the estate's facade appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. Most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Hearing this, a few wondered to me. They're mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. Miss McCulloch also joins our group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches, yes.
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
She sounds so hyper.
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
They must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before, some magazine, on the television, I can't quite remember. Then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news, one way or another. I won't be surprised if these two already have. For people who are popular though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'd say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. I'd think they are a brother and sister if it wasn't for their public display of affection. The matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. My only... sunshine? Oof. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed before the current owners can even think of cancelling the listing. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's groups is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, with papers in hand, I lead the way. They aren't whispering amongst themselves or going ooh and ah over one thing or another. They ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place. I answered them all. More than happy to talk about the art pieces and the architecture mostly. However, I'm quite careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Yeah, you'd be hard-pressed to sell the house if you went on about the bad stories about the house. Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxburn knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty. Even the glass thing, colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope.
Mosaic glass? Or something like that was called. Can't remember either.
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
Ooh. By the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
A beautiful historical mansion, and his first thought, it might be too small, maybe break down a wall or two.
It is splendid, ma'am. But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything.
No, I bet you do. What are we getting on updates here? Today marked the open house of the infamous Ermengarde mansion, open to the public for the first time in years. Loxburn's most esteemed and prominent personalities gathered to catch a glimpse of the 17th century property, including Loxburn's most well-known couple, Luke and Hannah Wright. That was it? Really? I had 2 updates, didn't I? Oh well.
Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, 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 let these guys be the one. Eventually, our group reaches the kitchen. Ooh, that is nice. That is ominous and odd as well. Like, weird position for the cellar. Even like, for example, if you think about it, like, not like those boxes were always there, so when the boxes are not there, put the attic door there. No, but the cellar. Perfect. It's out of the way and everything. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put in retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room in particular looks amazing, like the ones I've only seen in fairy tale books. Yeah, true, like kind of a huge fireplace. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks, and how much of a pain in the arse cleaning this will be, they still managed to pull this off. I mean, that's their job. Or make it look presentable at least. God damn, I'm struggling.
The highlight
With
of the room,
words.
however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
Somebody's happy. This is the first time the guy in grey speaks up, Mr. Luke Wright. My memory supplies from the firms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in the place. But this time, something lights up in his eyes at the mention of the Undercroft. What's so interesting about the basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who's seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way, my younger siblings especially. When a grown man, it's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
God damn, that's a lot.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar had been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room.
Ooh, I got some jasmine tea today. Been a long time since I've drank any. It's just amazing.
It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
This isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he has started to show interest, if only a little. I smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, But I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score. Can't wait to tell Rose. Hello. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room in the ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time BRC had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now, I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale? Oh, that's not pleasant. When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. Starts off as small goosebumps on my skin. Feeling of being watched intently. Oh god, stop that. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick. I start to break out in a cold sweat. Stop that. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we've prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I'll let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. Stop that. Stop. Not what you think. Don't think about it. Not what you think. I've probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer. Until Hans taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there?
Why, hello there.
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you! Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker! Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hannah. Call me Hannah. I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? Is this an out of season April Fool's joke? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see... But we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she has tasted a particularly sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem. And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who will probably just fill it up with cats.
I mean, I do like cats.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hannah. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Ma'am Hannah. Oh. Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person.
And you lost me.
But you see, this is going to be a
Not
gift, my
really.
darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon.
I like both, but dogs just don't like me, so... And with cats, we like each other, so it works out. With dogs, usually I end up getting bitten.
And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am.
Yes. Ma'am Hannah, follow the procedures, please.
I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves. What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
Oh yes, paperwork. I try not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCullough, who only gives me an apologetic smile and a shrug. I mean, yeah, what? What would she be able to do? Ah, I got it. Those story updates is basically... I could check the flowchart if I wanted and see, like, where it moves.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
Mary Ann. Oh boy.
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
I really can't figure out if she's doing that on purpose or is she just bad with names?
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and what's this?
Oh crap. A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
That's, an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled.
Why is it Mary Ann?
But I'm sure you'll know what to do with all walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, Ma'am. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
Is it just me or the scene just... The scene itself is good, it's just... That dialogue, like... Why are they talking about art? Who sees, like, any kind of chain letter and thinks, oh, that's just dreadful art.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
My turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed? Are the... Deep breaths. Are the papers I handed not enough? Got it. I want to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. But with the way Ma'am Hannah's leading the conversation, I'm afraid that that's exactly what will happen if I do interrupt her.
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
Smiles back on her face when she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. Sides crinkle in my grip and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Isabella? Are you alright? You're looking pale.
I didn't even notice when Rose's group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say that no, I'm not alright. I want to leave this place. Because I remember everything as clear as day. This letter and that woman in the attic. It's real.
The letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How'd I even tell them that without looking like I've gone mad? Should I even tell them? I'll just save. I'm just gonna go how I what ending I do manage to get. Just force of habit playing visual novels to save at choices. Anyway, show the letter or don't show the letter. Honestly, it feels like Isabella believes chain letter stuff, so it wouldn't make sense for her to show it to Rose because, well, she wouldn't want to drag anyone in danger. So the logical decision would be don't show the letter.
Rose,
What happened? Oh damn! Marianne likes us. Words are stuck in my throat. I want to tell her, I really do. Is she going to believe me? She already dismissed me earlier. Then concussion, she said. It's not. There really is something in this house, in that attic, in that letter. It's going to go after us. Please, believe me.
Me. Is Isabella alright?
Ma'am Hannah's voice breaks through the haze, beginning to cloud my mind. Rose is looking down on me, worry etched on her features. I didn't even notice when she removed the wrinkled paper from my hands and pushed me down, seated on a nearby chair. From the edge of my vision, not vision, I can only make out Miss McCullough asking a passing food server for a glass of water. Through it all, Mr. Wright stands in the sidelines. Although curious, he appears more inclined to watch the scene than help. They are all as likely to believe me as Rose does. To everyone, whatever's in this house is just a hoax, a cautionary tale for children.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
I mean, that's a lot of horror stories meant as some sort of cautionary tales. She offers me a ring, but I push it away. I need to go out. I need to get out of here before I cause an even bigger commotion. Clear my head, take a breath of fresh air. Anything to take my mind off things. No one's going to believe me anyway.
No, I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me, I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. Doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face, because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler. Eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off, while shifting her gaze down to her hands. Small gesture, stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless, more as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can, but I have this nagging feeling that one way or another it'll find its way back to me, regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait, no, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
Clasps her hand together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. And I do understand, to some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether at myself, the unlucky turn the situation has taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
I mean, I can kinda understand not knowing what a noob means, but... A boss calling an employee a noob? Well, that's a first. At the memory, we both burst into helpless giggles, earning us strange looks from the guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that
Damn.
bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. A few visitors lingered in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through the stained glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies, gathered some ways across from me, is occupied in a friendly banter about which one would cost more to buy. A little argument here, an occasional laughter and teasing there. I smile to myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these past few months. Rose is probably right, I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon's hangout will help. Speaking of, I should call Ash. It's a few hours early from what I've told him, but he did ask me. Ask for a call once I'm done. Besides, I don't have a ride back, he offered, so I might as well take it. Well, before we meet, we call this the dashing fellow. I think I'll be ending the part here. So let me just save. Yes, and head back to the main menu. So that's been part 2 of the letter playthrough. Just chill talking with some people. A little bit of uneasiness here and there. But overall nothing much has happened so far, except for meeting some new people. So yeah, next time we'll call our dashing Ashhole and see what he has to say. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Feel free to press like, drop down a comment, maybe even subscribe. I'll be going with this playthrough and maybe add in another game on the weekend, or maybe a stream. We'll see how it goes. Well, with that said, yeah. Bye bye and until next part. Evening Gamer Guy out.